Okay, so here's just a quick guide on how to set up your boat eye so that you don't have to get in and out of a boat and press F3C before measuring your eyes for Minecraft speedrunning. So I'm not going to go too much in depth here because Osh already has a in-depth boat eye video, but there's a couple things that I would like to add because I would always see speedrunners do this with the blind portal and not press F3C or toggle their raw input on and off. So to do boat eye without pressing F3C, so there's a list of sensitivities which allow you to do boat eye without pressing F3C, but you still need to get in and out of a boat. After you get out of a boat, I think the less moving around you do, the better. I'll have to ask someone about that, but some of these sensitivities are a bit weird. So if you're in a boat and you turn left or right or do like a 360 using some sensitivities, it will desync you and not work and you'll have to get in and out of a boat again. So there's a big list of sensitivities here that you can choose from, but the three viable sensitivities are these ones here. If you want to look at this text document, I'll link it in the description. It's pretty complicated and I don't fully understand it myself, but these three sensitivities are the best ones to use. I chose to use the middle one. So what you want to do is you want to open up your multi-MC, go Minecraft folder, config, MCSR, standard settings. If you don't have standard settings, then you'll need to download it. It's a mod. Then scroll down until you find mouse sensitivity. Choose one of these. I chose the middle one and paste it in here and go File, Save. Make sure standard settings is enabled by pressing this book and quill in the top right corner and going standard settings and use standard settings on, and also make sure that the mouse sensitivity is enabled and that you never touch this. In Ninjabrain, you want to go to the gear icon, go optional features, boat adjustment, select green boat. Make sure the numbers here are the same. Again, if you want a more in-depth tutorial on boat eye, I'd highly recommend go watch Osh's video. Then you'll want to paste your sensitivity that you chose into Ninjabrain here and then close. Now when you're in the game, your sensitivity will probably be a little bit off. So what you can do is you can go to your mouse software. I'm using the Logitech mouse software. If you don't have a software, then I'm sure there's a software you can Google or look up the brand of the mouse you are using, and they probably have a dedicated software for that. And then you can adjust the DPI of your mouse so that when you're in the game, it feels normal as to what it felt like before. I also have a DPI setting that I use for when I'm measuring my eyes. So when I measure my eyes, I click a DPI button on my mouse to turn down my DPI so that I can line up my cursor a lot easier to the right pixel. And then I click the DPI button again once I'm done measuring. If you don't have a DPI button on your mouse, then you can probably bind a DPI hotkey onto your keyboard with your mouse software. If your sensitivity is too high outside of the game, then I would recommend just turning down your sensitivity in Windows and then adjusting it in the software and trying to find a good balance to what your sensitivity used to be like. Now you can practice your portals and start doing and practicing what the top runners do by getting in and out of a boat without pressing F3C on your blind. What you'll also see them do is they'll stack up, jam themselves in between two blocks before they throw an eye. This removes any desync that happens that will affect the accuracy of your measurement. Also, another question I had is why Osh said turn off raw input. This is just to slow down your mouse cursor to measure the pixel properly. You can do the same thing with your DPI software. Again, I would recommend going and checking out Osh's video if this is the first time you are learning to do boat eye. This was just a quick tutorial on how to set it up without getting in and out of a boat and pressing F3C every time you need to measure an eye. I'll have a link to Osh's video in the description. I'll also have a link to this document in the description. But as I said, these three numbers are the most viable and are recommended. Anyways, see ya.